Shabbat Shalom, everyone, and Moadim LaSimcha in our interim days of Passover. A very full week, spring break week, so I'm very, very grateful to see you all here today. Okay. Shir Hashirim Asher Lishlomo. Song of Songs by Solomon. Oh, give me the kisses of your mouth. Your love is more delightful than wine. Your ointments yield a sweet fragrance. Your name is like finest oil. Therefore do maidens love you. Draw me after you. Let us run. The king has brought me to his chambers. Let us delight and rejoice in your love, savoring it more than wine. Like new wine, they love you. Those are the first four verses of Song of Songs. But in the fifth verse, there is a line that has puzzled commentators for a very long time and also given great inspiration to many. It says, Shechora ani v'nava. I am dark and beautiful. Perhaps, as translated in our JPS, I am dark, but I am beautiful. Very challenging to translate. We think of the generally as translated as and, but it can also in context mean however also, or but. I am dark, but I am beautiful. Or maybe, I am dark and I am beautiful. Shechora even meaning black. We know it as a color. I am black and I am beautiful. This is a strange phrase. It's challenged us for hundreds and hundreds of years. And in truth, most of Song of Songs is a challenge. It's one of the most beloved books of the Bible. It transports the reader to a dreamlike landscape of vineyards and orchards, pastures and deserts, marketplaces and palaces where lovers beckon and seduce one another, meeting and separating and finding one another again. The language can be unpretentious and luxuriant, heartfelt and hyperbolic, and it is so unique that it has practically become a lexicon, a dictionary of its own. This is a book of emotions. It's so thick with metaphors and euphemisms and dream sequences that it's actually hard to be sure what really goes on between these two lovers over the course of the book. We don't even know if the events happen or if they are a figment of a young girl's imagination, as she is clearly infatuated with the prince of her time. We can relate to her, perhaps. The text is saturated with references to Israel's flora and fauna, its geography and topography, and its seasonal cycles, though they are forever in the spring. Because it is so redolent of springtime, of course, it is obvious that we would read this book at this time of year, but it has also been interpreted over the centuries as being an allegory for the love relationship between the Jewish people and God, a relationship that could only really begin to flourish once they were freed from Egyptian bondage. Hence, it makes it a perfect book to read during Passover. There are so many ways to read this beautiful little book. We associate it traditionally with an author of King Solomon because he is mentioned explicitly in the first verse, and he is mentioned several other times in the book, unlike in Ecclesiastes, where he is not mentioned by name and not again after the very beginning. But modern scholars imagine that Shir HaShirim was probably composed during the Second Temple period because of the late biblical Hebrew that appears in the language. It is thought that maybe it was developed as a collection of love poems, some of which they do allow might even date to the First Temple period, the time of Solomon. Shir HaShirim we generally translate as Song of Songs, but it is a superlative, the greatest of the songs. Some translate it to mean a song that is made up of other songs, and sometimes you'll see it referred to as canticles. Though we read a little bit of it on Passover, and we sing pieces from it all of the time, it has inspired so many songs, one of which I hope to share in a moment because it's Song of Songs, so why not? But in many communities, and you can imagine what foreplay this induces, Shir HaShirim is also read in many places every Friday afternoon before the Kabbalat Shabbat service. What do you think, Cantor Rudy? Should we add it to our Friday night? It's 8 chapters. It's a little long, but we do pieces from it all of the time. Of course, our Dodi Lee pieces and others. But I'd like to go back just for a couple more moments to this chapter 1, verse 5 phrase. I am black, but I am beautiful. Or I am black and I am beautiful. Professor Ilana Pardes, who is a professor of comparative literature at Hebrew University, writes in a larger piece called The Song of America that it should come as no surprise that the most privileged lines of the Song of Songs in Black culture are those of the Shulamite. In her opening declaration, I am black but comely, O ye daughters of Jerusalem, as the tents of Kedar, the curtains of Solomon. Do not scorn me because I am black, because the sun has looked upon me. This beloved's bold affirmation of her black beauty served as an uplifting source of inspiration for African Americans who sought to dismantle racist presuppositions, especially in the mid-19th century. Zilpah Elah, an African American preacher, spoke in favor of associating beauty, comeliness, with blackness in her 1846 memoirs. Frederick Douglass, the renowned abolitionist, remarked in an 1849 review of A Tribute for the Negro that the verse, I am black but comely, is as true now as it was in the days of Solomon. And Hannah Craft, in a book recently discovered called The Bondwoman's Narrative from the 1850s, uses the song as an epigraph for her tale to implicitly comment on the tragedy of a fair-skinned mulatto woman who tried passing for white. The African-American trend of underscoring the Shulamite, the female lover in the Song of Songs, is referred in a couple of places as one who came from Shulem, so she's sometimes called the Shulamite. Underscoring the Shulamite's blackness continued into the 20th century. W.E.B. Du Bois evoked the entire sequence of the song, chapter 1, verses 5 and 6, in The Souls of Black Folk in 1903, as an epigraph to a chapter titled Of the Black Belt, in which he depicted the agonies of former slaves in the South in a sharp critique of new forms of racial inequality. Poets and writers in the Harlan Renaissance followed suit and adopted the Shulamite's words in their attempt to fashion a new black aesthetics and a new sense of black heritage. County Cullen ended his poem Black Majesty in 1930 with the lines, Lo, I am dark but comely, Sheba sings, and we were black, 3 shades reply, but kings. Here, County Cullen endorsed the Ethiopian tradition according to which the African Queen of Sheba was not merely a visitor on a diplomatic mission to Solomon's court, but also the king's beloved. And in doing so, he endowed African American culture with a glorious founding dynasty that could be traced back to biblical times and the story of Solomon. The notion of a woman who is dark but beautiful inspired a song that is precious to me. It is called Shechar Choret, and its words were based on a beautiful song called Morenica. The Morenica is a Ladino version based on a medieval Spanish poem, and it is known as La Morena, also from the feminine for a Moorish woman. The song may have even predated the Spanish expulsion of 1492, and the title of this song is clearly based on Shir HaShirim, chapter 1, verse 6, and the lyrics broadly reflect the content of this chapter. The title character says her skin was darkened by the sun, but notwithstanding her little bit of self-consciousness, she is wooed by numerous lovers, including a royal figure, the son of the ruling king, whom she declares she will follow. As the song moves along, she gains confidence in her appearance and embraces the identity others have given her. Like the text of Shir HaShirim, where you already in our small excerpt earlier heard many different voices, this song too alternates between the voices of the female lover and the equally infatuated male lover in the chorus. Music has a sensuous, sultry quality that invokes the tenor of Shir HaShirim. The words mean, "The dark girl they call me, my skin was pure white. From the blaze of the summer sun, I've become dark." And the men answer, "Dark girl, so very beautiful, a fire burns in your eyes, my heart is all yours." "The dark girl they call me, all those who go down to the sea, if again they call me, again I will go with them." And the chorus sings, "Dark girl, so very beautiful, a fire burns in your eyes, my heart is all yours." "The dark girl, he calls me, son of the ruling king. If again he calls me, I will follow him." And the men sing, "Dark girl, so very beautiful, a fire burns in your eyes, my heart is all yours." A time of so many angry and unkind words, I thought it would be nice to just offer a love song based on this beautiful Song of Songs. שחרחורת יקראוני צחיה אורי ומילת שמש קיץ בלי שחרחורת יפי יפית כל כך בעינייך אש בוערת ליבי כולו שלך שחרחורת יקראוני כל יורדי הים אם עוד פעם יקראוני שוב אלך איתם שחרחורת יפי יפית כל כך בעינייך אש בוערת ליבי כולו שלך שחרחורת יקראוני יפית כל כך, בעינייך אש בוערת ליבי, כולו שלך. בעינייך אש בוערת ליבי, כולו שלך. שבת שלום.